After we do then verse now, a segment where we bring up a old player and a new player. We compare them and we choose who we would sign for our club if we could only sign one of them. Let's go first. 2 Brisbane Broncos outside backs. Karmichael Hunt versus Jamayne Isaako. Luke, who do you sign to your club and why?
I go Karmichael Hunt. Big fan of Karmichael Hunt back in the day. Was one of my favourites. Just he's like no fear as a fullback. It was great. He was pretty good. Like ball playing. Would have been interesting to see if he had come back to rugby league rather than go to union, like after playing AFL. Yeah. Like I know he wasn't the best AFL player, but just developing the kicking game a bit more. I think it would have been really nice to have seen what he could have done. Isaako still a bit unproven, but definitely a lot of talent. Like I wonder how good Isaako will end up being, but for now, like Karmichael Hunt, we know he was a fantastic player, and probably I wonder if we would have been talking about him being like the best fullback instead of maybe Billy Slater, because I'm pretty sure he was still the fullback up until he left for like Queensland and Australian stuff.
Yeah, Bill was on the wing, I'm pretty sure also. I'll go the opposite. I'll go Jamayne Isaako. The ceiling's pretty high on this kid, and we've only seen what he's capable of so far on the wing. He is primarily a fullback. I think when he makes the transition to fullback, his game just goes to a whole another level. From what we saw in 2018, he won the Broncos the game against the Roosters by scoring that miraculous try. He won them the game against the West Tigers by kicking the 2, and he won them the game against someone else by kicking a field goal. So this kid is so clutch, and he can win the game in any way, as he's shown in 2018. So I'll go Jamayne Isaako, although I do acknowledge Karmichael Hunt has had a spectacular sporting career. Our next then verse now is a question I put up on my social medias earlier this week. If you could only take one pair of brothers, we're going to separate them now one by one. 2 Manly legends. Snake, Brett Stewart, or Tommy Turbo, Tom Trbojevic. Luke, who do you sign to your club and why?
I think I'd say Tom Trbojevic. Brett Stewart, one of my favourite players, hands out. Like I love Brett Stewart, but injuries sort of derailed him a fair bit. But Tom Trbojevic, he's a great ball player. I know Brett Stewart ended up being a real good ball player, but like Tom Trbojevic, he's pretty good. He can kind of do it all. He can do it all.
Yeah, so, I'll agree. I'll go Tom Trbojevic just because he's a natural footballer, and that's not to say that Brett Stewart wasn't. Tom is just a natural footballer, unlike not many people have the instinctual playmaking ability, the ability to hit the gap and accelerate.
And also he's got good versatility too.
Absolutely. He's a competitor in every sense of the word. And the ceiling on Tom is, at this stage of his career, still quite young. Almost the sky is the limit as to what we could say about his career 10 years from now on League Lane with Dane, episode 500. We'll move on to the next set of brothers, Glenn Stewart or Jake Trbojevic. I'll go first for this one. I'll take Jake. To me, Jake is probably the best lock in the NRL right now, besides maybe Jason Taumalolo. He's a playmaker. His connection with Tom is unrivaled. They always link up perfectly. The New South Wales Blues always look like a better team and a more dangerous team when he's on the field. Manly, I think if you take Jake out of Manly, that team, you lose the team to me. He's so focal to their attack and their leadership, and just in every sense of the word. I can't talk about how much of a great footballer Jake is, so I'll go with Jake Trbojevic for my selection.
Yeah, same for me, but I will say Glenn Stewart, probably underrated when people think back on him. Like I think he was a better ball player than Jake Trbojevic, but I think overall Jake's a lot better player. Just his defense, he's just what more can you say about Trbojevic? He's just one of the best players.
Yeah, it's one of those things. He's so talented, you can't pinpoint one area of his game. We'll move on to the fan.